Hello everyone, my name is Emolynn Pena and I am a tutor for Europe. Europe is a program that helps students prepare for college and helps them transition from high school to college. Europe opens opportunities for students to be aware of the different career choices they have and opportunities. In this video, I will talk about what a real estate appraiser does for a living, and I will do so by drawing it out. To give you some background information about me, I currently attend the University of Texas at El Paso, otherwise known as UTEP. And I am majoring in multimedia journalism. What can I do with this degree? With the multimedia journalism degree, I can work in print. This means I can work as a writer in a newspaper outlet or even a magazine. I can also branch out to television. I can work in broadcasting as a news anchor, as a news reporter, or even behind the scenes as an editor. I can also work in radio as a radio host. I am also minoring in education. Therefore, I will be a certified teacher once I graduate UTEP. I will of course be able to teach journalism in middle schools and high schools, along with yearbook, speech, and photography classes. Now that I have introduced myself, let's get to the point of this video. Today I will talk about real estate appraisers and what their job consists of, what education you must obtain in order to land this job, and how much money they make. Real estate appraisers inspect the construction, condition, and special features of a given property. For example, whenever a real estate appraiser evaluates a residential property, they check to see the overall condition of the house, including the floors, the ceiling, and the roof. They also note if any renovation has been done to the property. During this process, appraisers normally photograph the property's interior and exterior to help them determine the property's value. They will later incorporate these photographs in a report. Appraisers also examine the property's surroundings. They evaluate the neighborhood the property is located at and note the schools, the parks, and the shopping centers that are around the area. They also take into consideration the location of the property. An appraiser will pay attention as to how close the property is from a highway or a beach. All this helps determine the value of a property. Real estate appraisers also conduct research. They search for public records on a given property and might even interview past homeowners and contractors to obtain other information on a residential property. Appraisers use all this information to compare nearby properties to give a specific property an appropriate value. Once all information is gathered, real estate appraisers prepare a written report with all their findings along with their estimated property value. This report describes in detail what caused the property to be estimated at a certain value. Some states require real estate appraisers to have a state license for residential and commercial properties. However, note that all real estate appraisers must have a license by law if they want to work with federal property. In order for you to obtain a license, you must pass a state test. What education is needed to become a real estate appraiser? Most real estate appraiser jobs require a bachelor's degree in a real estate development or real estate. The classes in these degrees typically include economics, finance, mathematics, computer science, business, and real estate law classes. Some colleges that offer this degree in Texas are the University of Texas at El Paso, the University of Texas at Arlington, the University of Texas at Austin, the University of Texas at San Antonio, Baylor University, and Texas A&M. What skills are needed to become a real estate appraiser? The most important skills are being fluent in English. This includes knowing the meaning and spelling of words and good grammar. Knowing mathematics such as algebra, geometry, calculus, and statistics. Being comfortable with computers and electronics and various softwares. Appraisers must also know about building and construction, such as knowledge of materials, methods, and the tools involved in the construction of repairs of houses, buildings, or other structures such as highways and roads. Real estate appraisers must also know the laws regarding real estate and properties. Real estate appraisers must also be able to perform active listening. This means giving full attention to what other people are saying, taking time to understand the points being made, asking questions that are appropriate, and not interrupting at inappropriate times. They must also be able to think critically. They must use logic and reasoning to identify the strengths and weaknesses of alternative solutions, conclusions, or approaches to problems. Real estate appraisers also have to have good speaking skills. Part of their job involves talking to others to convey information effectively. They should also be service-oriented, meaning they must actively look for ways to help people. And of course, they must have excellent customer and personal service. This includes knowing the customer needs in order to meet quality standards for services and evaluations of customer satisfaction. They must also show integrity, meaning being honest and being ethical. They must also pay attention to detail and be careful completing their work tasks. Real estate appraisers must also show independence, since their job requires guiding oneself with little or no supervision and depending on oneself to get things done. Lastly, they must be dependable, meaning being reliable and responsible. How much money does a real estate appraiser make? On average, real estate appraisers make about $58,030 in a year. This means they make around $27.90 an hour. Let's quickly recap all the information I just talked about to make sure you didn't miss a thing. Real estate appraisers determine a property's value based on its condition and surroundings. Real estate appraisers can branch out into residential or commercial properties or even federal. They must pay close attention to detail whenever they visit a property to best evaluate a building. Real estate appraisers must also conduct excellent research regarding a property to help them with the evaluation. In order to become a real estate appraiser, you must obtain a bachelor's degree in real estate. In some cases, you must have a state license to work as a real estate appraiser. Real estate appraisers must show honesty, responsibility, and reliability while working. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about a real estate appraiser and their job.